The fable of Beauty and the Beast has been told in many languages and has endured throughout the centuries as a classic of fantasy for the young in heart. Once upon a time, in the sunny land of Italy, during the days of romance and chivalry, there lived a lovely young maid named Althea, daughter of the noble Count of Sardi. And there had been much joy in Sardi when the people learned Althea was to journey to a distant land to wed her Prince Charming.
I remember this place. Eduardo and I came riding here the day before I left for home. 3 months ago. Seems like countless ages.
I hope you realize you're a very fortunate young lady. Usually a marriage between families such as ours is hardly more than a matter of convenience, not an affair of the heart.
You don't know how grateful I am that you gave me the opportunity to know him completely before we were formally betrothed.
You might pretend to show just a little sorrow at the thought of leaving your father, to enter into a new land, a new life.
I'm sorry to be so selfish, but all I can think of is Eduardo. And in just a little while, I'll see him again.
Silvio?
Yes, Your Excellency.
Tell him to stir up the horses, man. At this rate, we won't reach Castle later until after dark.
Yes, my lord. Stir them up.
For generations, the Castle Aletta had stood as a symbol of authority in the land where the young Duke Eduardo had recently come to the throne. But now Eduardo's subjects were beginning to become uneasy, for there were things happening in the castle which they could not understand.
Their Highnesses, Prince Bruno and Princess Sybil.
I am sure, Eduardo, if your uncle deigns to pay us a visit, he either brings bad news or hopes to find it here.
I trust that you are well, dear nephew.
Why this air of solicitude?
Well, there are rumors that your grace might not be enjoying the best of health.
I hope you're not disappointed to find the rumors unfounded.
Your grace, you do us an injustice.
Then illness is not the reason why your grace canceled the fiesta of the Throne of Aletta.
His Grace has canceled it on the grounds of economy.
I doubt His Grace's people will be happy with such an explanation.
It is I who must answer to the people.
You will not reconsider? The people certainly will not object to the expense.
No.
Well, it is on your head and not on mine.
Then this is the first time you've expressed satisfaction at not being in my place.
Then, with your Grace's permission, we will relieve you of our very unwelcome presence here.
You have it.
Your Grace.
were right. They came here hoping to find bad news.
Perhaps Grimaldi's report was wrong. Eduardo seemed all right.
Not to me. He's hiding something. I could see it in his eyes.
I'll send him back here. Let him sniff around again.
We need more than rumors to hold over his Grace's head.
The suspicions of Prince Bruno were not without foundation, for Aletta was ruled by Eduardo only by day. When the sun would sink beyond the distant horizon, Eduardo compelled everyone, except his chancellor, Orsini, to leave the castle. As night shadows began to engulf the land, Eduardo and Orsini began their lonely vigil. Eduardo's subjects could not be told that the young Duke was living two lives, and that by day he had to hide the torment that gripped his soul. For no one could know of the evil curse that overtook him when darkness fell. A curse that only he and Orsini must face.
Eduardo, you are inflicting added suffering upon yourself. You would have been safe enough locked within your own door.
No, Orsini. How do I know what might come over me when it is upon me? Perhaps I should have you chain me to the wall.
You've never been violent.
Yes, I should be grateful for that blessing. Orsini, what if I should become a thing of pure evil?
I dare not even think of it.
To know that I have to subject you to this every night. It is enough. The sun. It's gone. I can feel it coming. I want to fight it. But how do you defeat an enemy you can't see?
Strange. You'd think the place deserted, and it isn't that late.
I didn't notice a guard at the gates, did you, Silvio?
There was none, my lord. In fact, there doesn't seem to be a soul about the whole place.
Well, wake them up. Let them know we're here.
Yes, my lord.
This is not exactly the warm welcome I pictured in my mind.
Nor I.
Of course, Eduardo had no reason to expect us so soon.
On the shoulders of Orsini had fallen the sad and difficult task of keeping Eduardo's secret from the world, no matter what excuses he had to give or what falsehoods he had to conceive.
Someone's coming, my lord.
If you have business with His Grace, return after sunrise in the morning.
You are talking to His Excellency, the Count Zadi.
Count Roderick?
Yes, yes, Orsini, Count Roderick. And the Lady Althea. Good heavens, man, are you going to keep us standing out here the rest of the night?
1,000 pardons, my lord.
If our arrival is an inconvenience, perhaps we should seek shelter elsewhere.
Forgive me, Your Excellency.
Silvio, bring in the luggage. Yes, my lord.
It's good to see you again, Baron Orsini.
And you, my lady. And more beautiful than ever. You will forgive me if I seem a trifle startled at your arrival tonight.
Is it a state crisis that we arrived a few days earlier than planned?
No. When did Your Excellency leave Saudi?
A week ago.
Then the courier from His Grace did not reach you? With a personal message from Duke Eduardo?
Concerning what?
My lord, I would not presume to discuss His Grace's personal affairs.
Spoken like a true diplomat. Well, we're here, Orsini. Take us to Eduardo. He can tell us the import of his message.
I'm sure he will see you and the Lady Althea the first thing in the morning.
We won't see him tonight.
I'm afraid not. His Grace is indisposed.
Ill?
Probably one too many farewell bachelor dinners, eh, Orsini? Huh? Well, I'm ready for it myself. Come along with the luggage.
Now, if your servants will just leave the luggage here, I will see that it's delivered to your rooms.
Oh, very well. That'll be all, Silvio. See to the horses, huh?
Yes, my lord.
Please stay closely, my lord, because of the darkness.
Well, I must say, our meal was more refreshing than our reception here tonight. You know, this is the first time I've ever had my food served with a chancellor of a duchy.
I'm sure Eduardo will have a perfectly reasonable explanation.
Entire place in darkness. No servants about. Locked doors. No guard at the gates. Eduardo's explanation will have to be more than reasonable.
Father, when you asked why Eduardo didn't meet us this evening, it was you who offered an excuse, not Orsini.
Well, now, bridegrooms-to-be do have their farewell bachelor dinners, you know. Everything always looks worse when you're tired. I'm sure Eduardo will have your perfectly reasonable explanation in the morning. Good night, my dear. Sleep well.
Good night.
In the morning, when the sun warmed the countryside once again and the nightmares of darkness were gone, the young Duke returned to his duties as ruler of the land.
And then my neighbor, this jackass, let his cow stray into my vegetable patch. Each of my wonderful vegetables has been raised by the sweat of my brow. And that stupid fool of a cow ate a whole row of my very best carrots. Therefore, I claim the right to hold his cow in payment for damages.
And how many of this man's fine carrots did your cow eat?
It couldn't be many, Your Grace. She has such a delicate appetite.
Well, then, it is my judgment that you return to Benito his cow.
Thank you, Your Grace. Thank you.
But you must give to Pasquale as damages all the milk your cow produces today, because it was made from his carrots.
Thank you, Your Grace.
You have my leave to go.
You seem to have lost your uneasiness of last night very quickly.
It seems so silly now that I should have been disturbed.
Sometimes that imagination of yours is a little too vivid.
You weren't so easy in your own mind.
Oh.
Eduardo.
I see you and I forget all the words I rehearsed to welcome you home.
Perhaps you might remember with a little prompting.
They were meant to be spoken in a special garden.
I seem to remember such a garden.
Do you mind, Your Excellency?
Would it make any difference if I did?
No.
Ah, to be young again, Orsini, and in love.
To be young again? Yes. But this and all it represents is the only love I've ever known.
To Althea, with all my love forever and ever, Eduardo. It's exquisite.
Wear it over your heart. And when you look at it, think of me as I am now.
I'm thinking of how much I love you.
Althea, if something should force me to beg for postponement of our marriage, would you grant it?
For how long?
I am hoping I will not have to ask it.
Well, I'd be unhappy about it, disappointed. But of course I'd grant it if you thought it necessary.
Even if I could give you no excuse, I'd only ask you to believe in me, to have faith.
Can there be love without faith? Without trust? You are serious. You're not trying to tease me.
I am serious.
Do you fear to confide in me? Are you trying to tell me that you find yourself in some great trouble from which you think I should be shielded?
Since you have been gone, I have learned that there are certain things that must be faced alone.
Then you would rather I return home?
For your sake only. If it were in my power, I'd never let you leave.
If you need help, then it's my duty to stay. From now on, there's nothing you have to face alone.
I hope you never change. No matter what may happen. No matter what you may come to think. Hope and pray with me there will be no postponement to our marriage. When I found myself face to face with her, I forgot all your good counsel. I could only remember how much she means to me.
Yes, I knew it would be this way if she returned. That's why I prevailed upon you to send a courier to her father.
If only the courier had reached him. If only she had not returned.
Did you suggest a possible postponement to her?
What else could I do? With the wedding less than 2 weeks away? She accepted it on blind faith. I felt like a cheat.
You gave her no explanation, I hope.
How does a man explain why he would seek release from the one thing he wants most in life?
For her sake, it would have been better if you could have found some pretext to break with her completely.
No, I will not give her up. To do so would be to confess to myself that there is no hope.
My son, I've given a lifetime of service to the Duchy of Valletta, to your father, and now to your grace. I beg of you to be strong, to endure, for the good of your people.
Endure. There have been times these past 3 months when I felt myself beyond endurance. Going mad.
Though you must remember above all else that your Uncle Bruno has his eyes on this palace, that he hovers over you like a vulture.
Yes, he suspects something.
And if he ever found out about you, we both know that he would use it as a weapon to prove you unfit to rule.
And he would not be far wrong. Did you give Lady Althea and Duke Roderick sufficient protection last night?
I took the precaution of locking their chamber doors and keeping the key. I did not unlock it until this morning.
As the sun left the sky again, and the castle Aletta made ready for the terrors of the night, a new evil was waiting in the person of the interested observer who watched with shrewd eyes, the man sent by Prince Bruno.
Still leading the easy life, eh? Home at sundown.
No, it's too good to last, but I hope it does.
Everybody in the castle has been sent packing for the night again?
Everyone but the Lady Althea and Count Roderick.
Well, what do you suppose goes on in there after His Grace locks himself in for the night?
I don't know. Never a word is said when we come back in the morning. But to me, there is the feel of evil.
Ah, you talk too much, woman, and about nothing.
Can I stand you a glass of wine?
2 glasses. Speaking only for myself, that is.
Well, it isn't my custom to sit down to a glass with a stranger.
I beg your pardon. Allow me to correct that. My name is Grimaldi.
Well, I have had a trying day.
Well, come then, let's be off. There's probably nothing to it at all. Just gossip among you servants.
Not much. Being dismissed from the castle at sundown every night and not being permitted to return to our work until morning isn't gossip.
Perhaps the Duke has a liking for his solitude.
Then what changed him? He used to be fond of company. Now, when old friends of His Grace call after nightfall, they're turned away by Baron Orsini.
And with poor excuses.
I still think it's just a lot of talk.
I haven't been able to breathe it to a soul what I think.
Oh, come now, we're all friends here, I'm sure.
Is it possible that the Grace has sold his soul to Satan? And secretly, in the dead of night, he celebrates the Black Mass.
I told you that it has the feel of evil.
It's exactly the same as last night. Every living soul gone from the castle, as if fleeing from a plague or something.
Perhaps it's better if we don't ask questions.
Oh, nonsense. I made it a point to mention to Orsini again this afternoon, half jokingly, our astonishment at finding the castle seemingly deserted and in darkness. In answer, he gave me words. Smooth words. Even about your door having been locked from the outside.
What did he say about my door?
But you might have been mistaken. But perhaps the door was only stuck.
Perhaps I was mistaken.
The sun is setting. It is here. It is here, reaching for me.
Eduardo, resist. Fight it with all your strength and mind. Harder than you've ever fought before.
I'm trying to fight it.
"3 months, Orsini. Every night since I took the throne. How much longer will I find the strength to fight?
If only I could be of greater help. If only I could take it upon my shoulders.
Leave me. I know what horror it is to look at me.
I will leave you now. But only to bring you your supper.
Yes, come back. We must not fail to feed the beast.
I'm going to Eduardo right now. Get to the bottom of this.
Father. Father, please.
And you know about it. Eduardo told you.
No. I only know he's in some grave trouble.
Trouble? All the more reason why I should have it out with him. To decide whether I want my daughter involved in it or not.
Father. Father, I ask you to have faith in him and in me. Let me talk with him again this evening. I promise you that if I think there's anything you can do to help Eduardo, I'll let you know at once. Eduardo? Eduardo, it's Althea.
afraid the roast fowl is cold, Eduardo. The shock of seeing you like this was too much for her.
I had need of that.
From the look of your face, you have need of another. As if you'd seen a ghost.
If I didn't see one, I heard one.
You sure it wasn't a cat you heard yowling?
Luigi is a hostler. He's closer to the castle than any of us at night. His room is in the stables. Tell us, Luigi.
What I heard was a woman screaming, just as if she had seen the devil himself inside the castle. I'm no coward, but her shrieks curdled my blood, and I came flying here to be among humankind.
Come, we're sitting here like children listening to stories about hobgoblins. I don't believe in things supernatural.
You would if you'd been at that castle for the past 3 months. I tell you again what all of us know. There is evil inside it.
So I spent a ducat of your highness's money on a few liters of wine at the inn frequented by the castle servants. An investment in loosened tongues.
Well spent, I hope. At times you're a little free with my money.
Go on, Grimaldi.
Well, I trust that what I learned was worth more than a ducat.
Come to the point, man.
What do the servants think takes place inside the castle during the dark hours?
One of them, a laundress, dared to whisper that she believes his grace has allied himself with Satan and celebrates the Black Mass.
With that holier-than-thou Orsini acting as his altar boy? It's ridiculous.
May not be as ridiculous as you think, Your Highness. A hostler with quarters close to the castle fled to the inn last night with a story of having heard a woman's screams from inside the castle. Horrible shrieks, he called them, and he was frightened out of his wits.
But if you are to be believed, the only woman who could be in the castle is the Lady Althea.
Exactly so. And why should she scream horribly? Now, what I've heard may be no more than old wives' tales, but this I can assure your highnesses. The servants are in a state of nerves and dread, and ready to believe anything.
Grimaldi, could you arrange it for me to get into the castle secretly at night?
I seem to have anticipated your highness's thoughts. The key to the courtyard entrance of the wine cellar, I borrowed it from his grace's wine steward while we were singing, locked in brotherly embrace.
But he will miss it. He'll report it lost.
Your highnesses have a tendency to underestimate me. This is a duplicate I contrived in the early hours of this morning. The wine steward's key will be found on the floor of the inn where he will think he dropped it.
Good man.
Your Highness flatters my small talents. Tonight, Your Highness?
Tonight.
You know now why I sent a courier to Your Excellency with a contrived excuse. In the hope of delaying your coming. But when you arrived, I lacked the courage to tell you of this horror. I should never have permitted you to enter, no matter what the cost.
It's better that I know the truth.
You say you're aware of the nature of this monstrous thing.
It is written in the record of judgments pronounced by Duke Francisco while he reigned. I need not recall to you the character of Eduardo's father. He was not a bad man in the true sense of the word, but he was harsh, imperious, exacting. He believed in his divine right to rule, and that all living things in this domain, together with the product of their labor, even their thoughts, belonged to him. Far different from Eduardo's way of thinking. Perhaps because I had some small part in forming Eduardo's more liberal concepts from his early youth.
Orsini, please, the explanation.
It was reported to the Duke that the alchemist sorcerer Scarlatti had discovered a way of transmuting base metals into pure gold. The Duke ordered the man brought before him and demanded that he reveal the secret. Scarlatti refused, saying that the knowledge was not meant for the enrichment of any one man, but belonged to all men. The Duke, in a rage, threatened Scarlatti with the rack to torture the secret from him. Scarlatti had no fear of torture. And in the end, the Duke commanded that he be entombed alive for his defiance. I can still see his burning eyes, hear his voice as he spoke to the Duke before he was taken away. Because power and greed have made a beast of the Duke of Valletta, I lay a curse upon his house. For he who shall follow you upon this throne shall prowl by night in the manner and in the shape of a beast.
And he was entombed alive?
Yes, and because I protested secretly for me, probably in some remote dungeon within these walls. He was never seen alive again, and the masons who walled him in were sent out of the country. The secret of his end died with Duke Francisco.
I will not believe there's nothing you can do, that there's no answer.
Nor will I. For having seen him, I cannot think of the sorcerer as a completely evil man. He may have relented, and in his tomb left some clue as to the removal of the curse. But we've not been able to find a trace of it.
Go back to Sardi. Forget me.
Could I forget you? Even with the whole world between us? Would it be so easy for you to forget me?
Don't twist my meaning.
If you were ill with the sickness of the flesh, and I fled from you as from a leper, without waiting to know whether you would recover, could I return to you? Would you want me back?
Althea, if you are being moved by compassion or a sense of honor, I can't bear your pity.
Not pity. Love.
Don't try to deceive me. Or yourself. Now, right now, when I'm holding you, you're not seeing me. You are remembering the beast that is in your eyes. You will never be able to look at me again without seeing the beast. Go. Go back to Sardi.
If you were ill with the sickness of the flesh, and I fled from you as from a leper, without waiting to know whether you would recover, could I return to you? Would you want me back?
With an ancient diagram of the intricate maze of passageways beneath the castle as their guide, Eduardo and Orsini continued their daily search for the tomb of Scarlatti, the sorcerer.
This corridor is a branch off the main corridor to the wine cellar.
This wall is as solid as the others. There's no hollow sound, no mark to show it has been breached or resealed.
Scarlatti's tomb is not in this wing of the castle. We're at the end.
Welcome to Castle Your Highness. May I offer you refreshment? What a pity His Grace was not expecting you.
It's the first time that I've ever been welcomed down here.
Go ahead with the light.
No, wait, listen. It sounds as if someone was tapping at the walls down here.
In that direction.
Yes. Yes, perhaps what we are searching for is down here.
Searching for something hidden behind the wall.
Wait. We may find out what they're searching for.
Orsini, it is here. We've searched too long. The sun has set. I feel it coming over me.
Eduardo, we've searched enough. Now, let's go back to the dungeon.
It was like seeing the hand of the devil reach out of the darkness and transform His Grace into a fiend.
Devils, fiends. You two probably stopped at the inn for a few measures to whet your courage before venturing into the castle. What you thought you saw came from the bottom of a glass.
On the contrary, my dear. If my memory serves me right, it came from the very imaginative art of a man I once knew, Scarlatti. It is black art.
You talk in riddles.
You've heard the old wives' tale concerning Scarlatti the sorcerer?
Of course, ever since I was a child.
I'm beginning to think the tale possesses more truth than fiction.
You actually believe the curse Scarlatti put on the Duke Francisco?
He who shall follow after you upon this throne shall prowl by night In the manner and in the shape of a beast.
He looked exactly that, a beast.
And when did these mysterious nighttime closings of the castle begin?
Immediately after the coronation of Duke Eduardo. Almost to the day.
Well, perhaps your more enlightened mind can think of some other explanation for what has been happening, for what we have seen.
No.
To think that from his tomb, Scarlatti has given me the weapon that I have needed to rid myself of Eduardo.
Hail, Duke of Valletta.
Oh, you can't. The curse might fall upon you.
Listen to Scarlatti's words again. He who shall follow after you upon this throne. Eduardo followed after Francisco, not I. The curse was meant for him, none other.
Their Highness, Prince Bruno and the Princess Sybi.
Your Grace, Your Excellency, my Lady Althea. Perhaps Your Grace misunderstood my message. I requested a private audience.
I have no secrets from my fiancée, from her father, nor from the Baron Orsini.
I am a little surprised to find the Lady Althea still here.
I see no reason why she should absent herself a few days before her wedding.
I thought perhaps the wedding might be cancelled. For the same reason Your Grace cancelled the carnival, for which I am now sure he had a very good reason.
You're wrong. My wedding to the Grace will not be canceled, nor postponed, for any reason.
It would make a very interesting union indeed. An unholy alliance. Ah, now, do not pretend offense, nephew, or that you are unaware of my meaning.
And what do you mean?
Since I am the next in line, I am here to demand His Grace's immediate abdication in my favor. Or I will expose his secret to the world. Why this castle is shrouded in darkness and mystery from sunset to sunrise. Why His Grace has never dared to show himself during those hours since the day of his coronation. I will make public what I know. That the curse of Scarlatti has fallen upon the son of Duke Francisco, and that a creature out of the foul depths of hell has succeeded to the throne.
You have no proof.
You are the proof, Eduardo, the living proof. Do you dare put it to the test? And if I needed more proof, I see it written on her face.
And what do you see written on my face, Your Highness? Except the desire to drive the point of this sword through your heart.
Why, I only wish to do Your Excellency and the Lady Althea a kindness. And you too, nephew. By permitting you to step aside quietly without being driven out by your own people. As his trusted counselor Orsini, you should urge him to submit to something that both of you must have known to be inevitable from the beginning.
I do not know how you arrived at the truth, but you will never exploit it through me.
You're fools, all of you, to lend him false hope. When I come again, it will not be in private. And you will be glad to flee this castle like a slinking beast.
Go, before I call down another curse upon my head for laying hands on you in violence.
Your Grace.
He feels the crown upon his head.
With Bruno's threats haunting Eduardo, the desperate effort to find Scarlatti's tomb began again. Searching in the still unexplored regions deep within the foundations of the castle, Eduardo and Orsini followed every possible clue, hoping to find evidence of the chamber that had been sealed many years before. Then, suddenly, there was faint hope.
Sound beyond the wall. I wanted to tear the stones away with my bare hands.
I'm praying that we find it, and that it holds all we seek.
These stones are free now, Your Grace. We can remove them.
Remove them, Mario, quickly.
Shall I squeeze through, see what's on the other side?
No. I want to discover that for myself.
Thank you, Mario. You may go now. That is all.
Thank you.
In another moment, shall know.
Eduardo, what is it? What have you found?
Must be Scarlotti.
It could be no one but Scarlotti. These are the very garments he wore when he appeared before Duke Francisco. No scrap of paper. No sign of what I'd hoped to find.
There must be. Let's search everywhere.
Here, on the wall. Power and glory and greed, all three have made of man a beast through me. And no escape shall ever be till born of love, with soul fear free. A woman's hand shall hold the key. Scarlotti. He was not a creature of evil. He did leave a clue. Words. What do they mean? Their words seem clear to me, even if Scarlotti did leave them as a riddle to be solved. Love is the clue. The love of a woman. A love so great that she would not fear to give herself in marriage to the beast he created.
Because I've never feared to marry you. And my love for you has never wavered. I'm so happy for you. For us.
Let's be married immediately, without waiting for the announced date.
I'm ready now.
Then prepare a proclamation, Orsini. Tomorrow is decreed the wedding date of His Grace, the Duke of Valletta.
I shall never have written one with a lighter heart.
Give him a decent burial, Orsini.
And then, after we took the first 2 stones from the wall, Duke Eduardo, for some reason, sent us home.
You didn't see what was behind the wall?
No, Highness, it was all darkness there.
That must be the wall that we watched them sounding just before the...
Did they say anything that would explain why they were so anxious to find out what was behind the wall?
Nothing I could make head or tail of. But they were so happy and eager, you might think they expected to find a hidden treasure of gold.
Grimaldi, you did well to bring him to me at once.
I thought you'd be as interested in this story as I was at the inn.
You may go now.
Thanks, Your Highness.
Why should they show such a sudden happiness when they should feel just the opposite?
Yes, what did they expect to find behind that wall? I must know. And tonight.
A skeleton. It's a tomb.
Scarlotti. He always wore garments like these. This is why he was never seen alive from the day he appeared before Duke Francisco. What were Eduardo and Orsini searching for in a tomb?
Your Highness,
Power and glory and greed. All three have made of man a beast through me, and no escape shall ever be, till born of love with soul fear free, a woman's hand shall hold the key. Yes, Scarlatti. This is what they were searching for. This is why they dared defy me when I flung the truth in their faces. If any man knows the secret of Scarlatti's end, it is Orsini. He hoped to find this tomb, and in it, some clue that might lead to Eduardo's release from the curse.
A woman's hand shall hold the key?
Scarlatti's last taunt. Even he could not conceive of any woman who could bring herself to love the beast that he had created. But then he did not know about the lady Althea.
She could be the woman?
Well, she knows that Eduardo is accursed, and yet she refuses to postpone her marriage to him. She could well be the woman. And it could explain the rumors that you heard this evening. That Eduardo had advanced the date of his wedding to tomorrow. But these rumors will prove to be wrong. For I will make sure tonight that there will be no marriage. Not with the lady Althea.
Child! Althea, child!
Stand guard over him.
What is it? The sound of a struggle awakened me, and you were gone.
Bruno and Grimaldi, they tried to kill Althea. Let me loose.
With your wedding tomorrow, you dare not show yourself like this tonight. People are still about, at the inn, in the byways.
Orsini, this cannot go unpunished.
Eduardo, it is more important that we know what prompted this attack on Lady Althea. Look. Their feet damp with the night dew left these imprints in the dust. Somehow they obtained a key. Come quickly. Eduardo, come. Now we know why he tried to remove the lady out there. Somehow he learned the secret of Scarlatti's end. Came here, saw this, and reasoned the true meaning of the riddle, as we did. That her love for you, her woman's hand, held the secret to the lifting of the curse.
He will not harm her, but tomorrow he will be in chains.
Tomorrow will be too late. Bruno knows at this minute that it's life or death for him. And to live, he must overthrow you, destroy you before the sun rises. Marry her tonight, within the hour. Father Romero has known all the days of your life. We can rest the short drive to the church. When we tell him of Scarlatti's curse upon you, he will understand. He will want to help you, to free you from it.
Silence! Silence! Listen to me. For weeks now, you have whispered amongst yourselves concerning the mystery of Duke Eduardo's castle, and why it has lain dark during the night hours like the mouth of hell. I will tell you, all of you, what I have told them, your friends and neighbors. That the castle has become the lair of a beast, half man, half animal, spawned out of the devilish obscenities of witchcraft and sorcery. A beast with fangs for teeth, with claws for hands, his head and his body matted with the hair of an animal, his red eyes glaring in the fury of his bloodlust. I have seen this beast. Not an hour ago, within the castle, his talons clutched at my throat and his fetid breath panted in my face. It is the beast that stalks by night. You, Spaulding, your firstborn lies wasting away with a fever for which you have found no cure, and there will be no cure for her, and all of you will fall victims to the same devilish incantation unless we purge ourselves of this thing harbored within the castle.
I will kill this beast!
And I will lead you, now, this very moment, to hunt him down, to drag him out of his den, to send this beast back to his master, Satan. Follow me then and arm yourselves as you go.
Ready, child?
Yes.
It won't be the glittering state wedding we'd planned.
Father, if it means happiness for him, for us, I'd marry him in a hovel with a wedding gown of sackcloth.
Hurry, then.
There's the Duke's carriage coming from the castle. Stop it!
Orsini, what is it? The shouting, these torches. It's Bruno, at the head of a mob. He's incited the people to violence. Is there no other way? They're coming toward us. We will escape them if we reach the fork in the road before they do. Turn back! Turn back! It's too late! The only way we can escape them is to keep going.
Let us see who flees the castle so fast at this time of night. Drag them out. Behold the beast, the monster of the castle. Yes, you may well look upon him in horror. See who else tried to escape with them.
Whatever your hatred has brought upon me, spare her.
This thing whines of mercy.
Let's hear him bark.
He'll sit up and beg before we get rid of him.
In spite of what I look to be, I am Eduardo, your ruler.
He is Eduardo, your ruler. Can you imagine him that, with a crown on his head, sitting in judgment over you?
I am guilty of nothing but the desire to save you from his ambition to rule in my place.
His place is in a cage with other foul beasts.
Hear me! I did try to hide the truth from you. That a curse had transformed me into this, a beast by night. I had hoped to find release from it before my secret became known to you.
Have you forgotten that the bans have been published? That he intended tomorrow to be his wedding day? Look at her. And look at him. The beauty and the beast. Would that not make a lovely wedding?
He lies. He is what he looks to be. A beast who cast his black spell on my child. Kill him and stop his evil.
Wait!
Do you not know that the hellborn do not die like humankind? They rise from their graves again. There's only one sure purge for evil.
The flame, by burning.
Is that your judgment?
And gather wood to feed the flame. Go back.
If she wants to die with him, let her. Mark at the beast is on her, too. Put them both to the torches.
Wait! At least listen to me. If through believing his lies, you do murder for him, for the evil you should fear is in his heart, not in this man he seeks to destroy. What he told you of the spell cast over him was truth. He does not deserve your hate, but your prayers, your compassion, and your love for all he has suffered innocently.
Love. She asks us to love that.
Yes, love that. For an ugly face can mask the goodness hidden in one's soul. I know now the meaning of the words I saw written on the walls of the sorcerer's tomb. till out of love with soul fear-free, a woman's hand shall hold the key. Scarlatti knew that unless it's strong enough to triumph over all else, over fear, over pride, even over death, love, even marriage are only empty words. If you burn him, then burn me with him. For I shall not leave him.
Feel it within me that I am free.
Deliverance. It is still night, but the beast is gone.
There is no escape for Bruno. Here and now I bid you to let her forever, and Grimaldi with you. Yes, me. See, I am Eduardo, a man of flesh and blood, a man who's been able to love woman. This woman shall stand my son as long as I live over you, who will help me to be worthy of her love, to govern with justice and mercy and understanding. Go in peace. The long, dark night has ended. Forever.